To me, this is not a day for long speeches. It's a day of solemn oath, a day of thanksgiving, and a day of prayer. I am honored to have been entrusted with this important responsibility. And as I stood here just a few moments ago with the other people that have been appointed by President Obama and Secretary Salazar, there were a lot of pictures being taken, and I think it was fitting because to me, and I turn to Secretary Salazar to say this is a historic moment. I think long awaited. I would like to express appreciation to Nedra Darling for putting this program together. I would like to express appreciation to all of those who have participated in this program. I have some very special feelings in my heart that I would like to express, and it goes to the Pawnee Nation. I would like the Pawnee Nation representatives to please stand and be recognized. I am so honored that they have traveled long distance to be here, and this just would not be right if they were not present, because these are my people. This is my heritage. And may I also just acknowledge the Shoshone-Bannock people. Maybe it would be fitting to have all Shoshone-Bannock people to please stand. This speech would not be long, but there's something in my heart that I need to say. Years ago, when I was 27 years old, I still had a lot of black hair then. I was a new lawyer, fresh out of law school. The tribal attorney contract opened up on the Fort Hall Indian Reservation. And because it's Idaho's largest tribe, there were many lawyers and law firms that stepped forward to apply for that position. And I appeared before the tribal council and the general membership of the tribe, as just a young lawyer. And I was totally outmatched. I did not have the experience to really qualify to be entrusted with that important responsibility of being their chief general counsel. But it was almost like a miracle to me that after all of the interviewing was concluded, that those tribal leaders, as one of the first times in the history of Indian nations, entrusted that important responsibility to an American Indian who held a law degree. And for the next 9 years after I was selected as their attorney, I served them with all of my heart and soul, and they became a part of me. And I want to say thank you. I would not be here today if that decision had not been made. I want you to know that I know that and I feel that. And the feelings that I have for the Pawnee Nation and the Shoshone-Bannock tribes extend across Indian country. I feel the weight of responsibility to serve in this position and to serve well, to remember the people that have needs, to remember the obligations that the United States of America has taken upon itself to provide various services throughout Indian country. I want to thank my family for being here today. Family is very important, and again, it would not be right if my family was not here to share in this moment. Physically, some of my family members are not here. I've thought about this yesterday and today in particular. I have a younger brother that is not here. He's passed on. I think many of you probably knew him. He was a lawyer. He worked for the United States Justice Department, worked for tribes in private practice. He was tragically taken from us. My parents have passed on, but they taught their children important lessons to remember their heritage, to acquire education, and to give service for what we've received. And those values that have been taught to their children have been important. This is an opportunity to do what my parents would want me to do, and I feel their spirit with me today. And I acknowledge my wife of over 40 years. Back in January, I was contacted by the Presidential Transition Team and asked to travel to Washington, D.C. for an interview. I did not know what it was about. When I showed up, I went to the Hart Senate office building, and it was the office of Senator Ken Salazar. And we just had a visit for probably about an hour, and I got peppered with questions, and after I left the office, I had no idea what was going to occur, but very shortly afterward, I received a call from Senator Salazar, and he offered the position of Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs to me. And I guess it's okay, since he said no. You know, I told him, I cannot say yes at this moment. And the reason I could not say yes is because my partner of over 40 years would be a part of the decision. And so I traveled home. And when I got home, I talked to my wife. We met in the 4th grade. We didn't get serious till we were 7th graders. But I want you to know that for me, I was struggling with the decision because I had like a perfect life. Being a law professor is a really nice life. And my wife did not hesitate at all. She just looked me in the eye. Immediately, I knew what she wanted to do. She wanted to serve, to give back something for what we received. It took me a little while longer, but I